What's up, guys? NBA Talk here with another offseason review, this time with the Indiana Pacers. The Indiana Pacers finished 7th in the Eastern Conference, end up losing to the Toronto Raptors in a tough battle. A very, very tough battle because the Indiana Pacers did not want to go down. It's just that their offense just couldn't be on par with their defense, which was pretty much keeping them alive. Their offense ended up turning against them, and the Toronto beat them. So now we're here in the offseason, and they made huge changes for that very reason. Their offense. First off, they end up firing and letting go Frank Vogel, who has been there for many years, got them to the Eastern Conference Championship, had numerous battles with the Miami Heat with LeBron James, D Wade, and Chris Bosh in them. Big time rivalry. They were a #1 seed. They were a #1 defensive team at times. And now they're back in the drawing board, and they picked up very, very good. First off, their losses. They traded George Hill, the point guard, who's been there for many years. He was a very, very good defensive player. It's just that his offensiveness just could not be on par. It just he didn't bring anything good on the offensive end in scoring, and not much on the assisting as well. Like just making like 5 assists only, not improving at all. Just pretty much he was in a standstill, basically. In free agency, they lost Jordan Hill. He went to Minnesota Timberwolves. Solomon Hill went to New Orleans Pelicans. And this boy Ian Mahinmi, the center, went to the Washington Wizards. So they lost a huge chunk in their front court and someone in the back court who's been there for many years. A tough price to pay on the defensive end because these guys were very good on defense. They made a huge replacement for the offensive end. So they're trading in defense for offense, which is a huge gamble going away from what they are. So we'll see. So here it is. In the trade, they got Jeremy Evans from Dallas. They have Jeff Teague from the Atlanta Hawks in a 3-man trade with George Hill going to Utah. They have Thaddeus Young from Brooklyn Nets. This guy, he was just wasted away in Brooklyn. Now they got this guy over here. Perfect. In free agency, they got Aaron Brooks from Chicago Bulls. They got Al Jefferson from the Charlotte Hornets. So that's pretty much it. So here it is. They got Jeff Teague, who is more geared to the offensive end. So they're pretty much switching from George Hill, who's a defensive player, to a more geared offensive player in Jeff Teague, who's more of a driver. He can hit those 3-point shots for sure. He's a more active player than George Hill. Like he keeps everything moving much better, and he's a more reliable scorer. You have Thaddeus Young, who provides very, very well in his power forward spot. Like I said, he wasted away in the Brooklyn, with Brook Lopez pretty much not going anywhere. Now you have this guy here that truly boosts up the offense for the Indiana Pacers down low. They got this boy Jeremy Evans. If so, because he's still a potential guy, we don't know. We got this boy Aaron Brooks from the Chicago Bulls, who is a huge backup guard. I mean, he doesn't score that much, but he provides well, for sure. He's a very good pickup. Very good pickup. You have this boy Al Jefferson. who is a very good big man. Of course, injuries have hurt this guy. I thought he was going to stay in Charlotte, but they picked this guy up. So they boosted their front court offense great again, even further. Um, Shoot. So that's pretty much it. They got the new head coach, Nate McMillan, Billman, someone like that. The former assistant coach of Frank Vogel, pretty much bringing him up and moving Frank Vogel out. Frank Vogel went to the Orlando Magic. So you have someone, Nate, who is familiar with Frank Vogel and his defensive mentality. So that's a good plus. So he might pretty much keep that mentality for this new geared offensive team. So they keep their defense while benefiting their offense. If that's the case, unless he changes something up. It's gonna be weird for the rotation in the starting lineup, especially because I don't know who's gonna be there and who's not. I don't know if Miles Turner is going to be in the starting lineup or not, because I really wish he would, so he could gain more experience, gain that sense of responsibility and confidence that, yo, you are a big deal. You're in the starting lineup. Act like it. I was thinking it's going to have that happen, but it looks like it's going to be Al Jefferson, because it will still make sense to have Al Jefferson in the starting lineup, as well as Thaddeus Young in the power forward spot. So you have Al Jefferson in the fifth spot, center. You have the power forward spot, the four, with Thaddeus Young. You have Paul George in the small forward, where he should be, because he really struggled when he was in the power forward spot. You have Monty Ellis. Hopefully he can get better, because it seems like this system does not work with him, where it's more geared towards defense, where he's an offensive player for sure. He played well in Dallas. He played well in Milwaukee. He played well in Golden State. But last season he struggled in the system with Frank Vogel, where his defensive mentality. So hopefully he's more used to it now, so he can play much, much better. And then you have this boy Jeff Teague, who can move the ball better, and he's more mobile. He goes into the paint, so that could spread out for shooters. You have people like Aaron Brooks coming off the bench. Of course, if it end up being, you have Miles Turner with his defense and his scoring ability, if he can continue to develop. You have this boy Glenn Robinson, who did well in the summer league. You have Ronnie Stuckey, who's a good guard as well. You have Joe Young, who's a up and coming shooter. You have C.J. Miles, who is an established shooter. So you got a couple of guards who can spread the floor very, very well. Plus, Paul George is one of the top three-point shooters, surprisingly. So that's pretty much it. They have a very good showing. I'll still say that the backcourt still needs to be pampered up. It's pretty much more of a bigger weakness, if you see that way. So Indiana, by far, in my opinion, had the best improvement in this offseason of 2016. Maybe Detroit, maybe Milwaukee, but in my opinion, Indiana Pacers no doubt, most improved team. And they are underrated, and I like that, because for those who are underrated, they just walk under the radar and just smash everybody in pieces, because you're not expecting that to happen. You're not expecting their defense to be so hard. You're not expecting their offense to be more improved. It's just going to be fantastic for the Indiana Pacers. They will definitely be in the playoffs, for sure. I can see that, which is going to be fantastic for them. So, Miami, the Cleveland Cavaliers, watch out. He's coming. They're coming. So that's it for me. Leave your comments below what you think about the Indiana Pacers additions, give ups. You think they're the most improved team, like I said, or not? Just leave your comments. So peace out, guys. Next video will be my last for the offseason 2016. It will be the LA Lakers. Yes, them. Because I just want to address them. And that will be it for the offseason 2016 for me. So that's it for now. LA Lakers, last one for me.